The battleground called America sees one skirmish after another, but who is fighting for faith, family, and flag? Charles Benninghoff, and here he is with today's action plan to defeat the forces of globalism.
Barack Obama signed a $65 million book deal, and now he's also raking in $400,000 per speech on Wall Street. In spite of his prodigious post-White House wealth, your tax dollars continue to pay Obama an additional $400,000 pension this year. And that pension will go up every year for the rest of Obama's life. And he's not the only one. Most cabinet members and other executive branch officials will leave their jobs and then go straight to Wall Street or maybe a lobbying firm, where they will earn salaries that most Americans can only dream of. But those Americans, taxpayers, folks like you and me, continue to pay retirement pensions to these wealthy former government officials. This is insane, and we're going to change it. If you want tax relief, keep watching. Today, I'll tell you about the money that Barack Obama and guys like former Attorney General Eric Holder are raking in while still collecting a taxpayer-subsidized pension. And I'll tell you about a plan to amend the law so there's a dollar-for-dollar reduction in federal executive pensions. I'll explain what that means too. And I'll tell you how you can help drain the swamp by speaking to the House Oversight Committee and demanding this change to the laws. But there's a big question here. Why do we speak out to Congress? Why do we urge you to speak out to Congress? I'll tell you why. It works. It really does work. Just a few weeks ago, for example, we spoke out to Congress and demanded answers related to the Garland, Texas terrorist attack from 2015. It turns out that an undercover FBI agent encouraged the terrorists who attacked the Draw Mohammed contest, and they tried to kill conservative activists Pam Geller and Robert Spencer. Not only that, but the agent followed the Muslim terrorists to the attack site and snapped a picture of the police officers there, just moments before the Muslims opened fire. Because our network of patriots demanded an answer on this explosive information, the Senate Homeland Security Committee has opened an official investigation into that attack. And we'll keep you posted if new information comes out. So stay tuned, not only today, but in the future. Now, let's talk about these outrageous and often unnecessary pensions that former presidents and cabinet members collect. Congress established a pension fund under the Former Presidents Act of 1958, a long time ago, true. President Harry Truman at that time had just left office, and he was so poor that he had to move into his mother-in-law's house after he left the White House. How do you like that? So in order to protect the dignity of former presidents, this fund was set up, and it was set up at $25,000 a year back then. Congress decided that it was only fair to provide a pension to former presidents after they'd served our country. I don't think Barack Obama is at risk of moving into his mother-in-law's house, though. Do you? As I mentioned earlier, Obama has signed a $65 million book advance, and he's going on a Wall Street speaking circuit where he will earn a minimum of $400,000 a speech just to give speeches. Plus, he gets all kinds of what they call consulting fees. We may never know what those are, but they're going to be in the millions. Even so, your tax dollars will continue to provide Obama a pension of more than $400,000 a year for the rest of his life. That's just not fair to taxpayers. And you know what? That pension will go up every year. Dozens of Obama's cabinet members are back at their jobs at Goldman Sachs right now. But guess what? You're paying each one of them pensions of $200,000 a year plus. Also, why are we paying these one percenters, these elite pensions out of taxpayer funds? For example, former Fast and Furious Attorney General Eric Holder is receiving a pension, and yet he's back at his bigwig Wall Street firm at his old job, and I guarantee you his salary is more than $200,000 a year. So, how do we fix this? A dollar-for-dollar reduction in executive branch pensions. That's how we do it. Here's how this would work. If Obama or a former cabinet official goes out into the private sector and earns $10, Their federal taxpayer subsidized pension is reduced by $10. So if Obama gives a speech for $400,000 on Wall Street, his federal pension is reduced to zero that year. This is a plan that is fair to the taxpayers, and it's also fair to former elected and appointed officials. The pension is still there if they actually need it, but if they don't, the taxpayers save money. Here's an interesting fact. Last year, Obama vetoed this exact bill. Yes, it was passed by the House and the Senate, and for some unknown reason, Obama, who had probably already at that time been in talks for his book deal, wanted to keep his pension and his new salary as a celebrity former president. I'll bet that the president in office now would sign this bill into law, but first we have to get Congress to pass our revised version, which includes cabinet members who run off to work for Goldman Sachs. Here's how you can help. Get to our action page today and use our GEM system to send personal letters directly to the House Oversight Committee. We have to speak out and demand that these bloated and unnecessary pensions be cut. Stay tuned because Bob Mallory will have instructions on the next screen explaining how you can get to our action page and what to do when you get there. It's very, very simple and it's elegant in its procedure. This is Charles Benninghoff signing off and wishing you freedom, fulfillment, and God's many blessings.
If you're on our action page on our website, use the form next to the video screen to select a program and send personal letters to Congress. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, click the icon appearing now to find the link to our action page, or check the video's description to find the link. Speak out today.